Welcome to the first Wikipedia training of the Wiki Academics project. So this afternoon, we are going to be discussing Wikipedia and its policies. I have the slides. So we're going to go through the slides first. So we are going to be talking about core content policies, conduct policies, and also we are going to be talking about the editing practice, the policies that guide editing practice. So under the core content policies, we are going to be looking at the neutral point of view. We are going to be looking at no original research, notability, and reliable sources. So under the conduct policies, we are going to be looking at civility, puppeting, vandalism, and biographies of living persons. Then under the editing practice, we are going to be looking at bold revert pages, copyright, and AI content policy. So at the end of each section, we are going to be taking questions and we're going to be having some breaks in between. Okay, so the first one that we're going to be looking at is a neutral point of view, in which people call the MPOV. On Wikipedia, you are not allowed to bring your own perspective. So you are allowed to represent everybody's perspective in a very fairly proportionate way without. So in summary, if you are writing something on Wikipedia, you need to make sure that you are not promoting a particular set of views, whereas you are to bring all the views into the table and you should allow people to choose from whatever they believe in. So this is what is called no bias. So you are not going to be biased. You are not going to be supporting a particular set of people over another person. What you are going to be doing is to bring out all the views and allow people, the reader, to take their own opinion. So that's what we call no bias under the neutral point of view. And also, there's something called proportionality. If you do not give enough proportionality, if you go for a particular one over another one, you are biased to other particular view. So that is why you need to make sure that the kind of writing that you put on Wikipedia is proportionate. Let me give an example. If there's a politician that has done so many good things, and there's a case about him, about corruption, that came up maybe recently or have been there before. So you need to justify all its good aspects, and also you also bring out the bad one, which is the corruption. But if you are writing about this politician is about the corruption case. So what we are trying to say is this person has not done anything good. The only thing he has done is that he is corrupted, which is going to bring about a non-proportionate view. So if there's a kind of non-proportionate view, it will bring about unfair representation. The subject is there on Wikipedia, but they are not fairly represented. And we want everybody to be fairly represented. When you go to articles about criminals, articles about kidnappers, articles about people who have been convicted of crime, if there is one thing or the other that they have done in a very good way, they will also put those things in the article, even if the whole world knew that they are criminal. So that's what is called fair representation. So also on Wikipedia, no, it is no advocacy. It's not a place where you advocate for people. It's not a place where you become the microphone of someone to speak. It's a place where you go online to get what you have gotten and you put it there in a very fair way. So you cannot use Wikipedia to advocate for your agenda. Maybe you belong to Wikipedia to do that. So that is what is called the neutral view, whereby you are not in the two sides. You are in between, and whatever you are writing it from a neutral way. So another policy about Wikipedia is the policy of verifiability. Here, a lot of people have issues with what is verifiable and what is the truth. So let me ask this question. What is the difference between verifiability and the truth? Are they the same? So if they are the same, you say yes inside the chat box. If they are not the same, you should say no inside the chat box. So you are going to be using the chat box to do that. Verifiability, is it the same as the truth? So you should be using the chat box to do that. Whatever you can verify, is it the truth? So if something cannot be verified, does that mean that thing is not the truth? So now, if you believe verifiability is the same as what is obtainable in the world as the truth, so you should say yes. If you think verifiability is not as the same as the truth, then you should say no in the chat box. So let me be there. No, they are not the same. That's from Barikesu Ibrahim. So let's have another, maybe we can have another counter opinion to that. Can we have, okay. Anybody else? If you think it is the truth, you say yes or no. So no from Elizabeth, okay, that's very good. So we can see from the responses of people that verifiability is not good. They are totally different from Malona Isaac. So thank you very much for that response. Verifiability is not the same as the truth. At times, a particular information can be the truth, but if we cannot verify it, we cannot use them on Wikipedia. So now, on Wikipedia, everything that you are writing, another person from another part of the country must be able to verify that information. So if you are saying that someone is the governor of a particular state, there should be sources that other people can access it to make sure that whatever you are saying is verifiable. So you have to put reference there. So now, the acceptable sources that we can use to verify any document are these: academic journals and books. We have major newspapers. When you say academic journals and books, we are talking about standard academic journals. We are not talking about mushroom journals. We're not talking about journals that are not peer-reviewed. We're not talking about journals that whatever you have written will be published in as much you pay the publication fee. We are talking about standard journals like there's this popular journal for medicine. I think we have a lot of journals that are acceptable, most popular one. So when you go there, you see them, even with your money, you will not be able to publish in those journals if you are publishing substandard articles. So we have major newspapers. For instance, when you have the BBC, you have the CNN, you have Al Jazeera, you have Reuters. Those are the ones we know globally. Also, in each country, we have major newspapers. For instance, in Nigeria now, we have the Punch, the Vanguard, the Guardian, the Independent, the Daily Trust, and so the Sahara Reporter, and so on. In Ghana, we have, I think we have Ghana Media, something like that. We have, anybody from Ghana here to give us what, should give us two reliable media from their country. Or let's do it this way. Use the chat box, give us three reliable newspapers from their country. You put the name of the newspaper like this. You can say um, the Punch, the Punch, Daily Trust, and the Guardian. Then put it in bracket Nigeria. So let's have it. The major newspaper that we have in your country. So let's have them inside the chat box. So let's have them. At least three. Let us have three from the country. The major one that we think are reliable. So I've dropped for Nigeria. If there's any other Nigeria here, you can also add to it. We have a lot in this country. And also from other countries too, drop the reliable newspaper that we have in your country. So I'm still waiting. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I think there's a message. Okay, from Tanzania, we have the Citizen and we have the Guardian from Elizabeth. Thank you very much. So if you're working on Tanzanian article, so you can use the Citizen and you can also use the Guardian from Tanzania. Okay, so let me check the people that are. We have Barikisu. So let us have newspaper from Ghana. I know Barikisu is from Ghana, and I know Malula is from Uganda. So let us have the newspaper that we have in your country that are reliable. Okay. We have government website, major newspaper, Ghana. I think you can give us, okay, the specific website, their name, the name, like the way we have mentioned. From Uganda, we have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. Oh, that's very good. I'm familiar with this Daily Monitor because I write a lot of articles about Ugandans. So I majorly use this Daily Monitor. So a New Vision. Please continue to drop it as we move forward and we go back to come and check them. Somebody else, okay. Oh, Barikis Ibrahim said Ghana Web and My Joy Online. That's very good. I'm very familiar with those two news media, Ghana Web and My Joy Online. So those are the reliable major newspaper that you can use in those countries. So also we have government websites. We are talking about statistics. So you need government websites to do that. You have to go to those places and get the statistics. For instance, each country has a statistical website where you can get data about what is going on in the country. So you can also use government websites for that. And we also have established encyclopedias, peer-reviewed publications. So all this can be used for verifiability on Wikipedia. So whatever you are saying, you need to use this to judge them. Now, The sources that you need to avoid. You need to avoid personal blogs and social media. So you cannot use social media posts to verify any of the information on Wikipedia. For instance, you wanted to tell us that someone achieved a remarkable, somebody achieved a remarkable thing, and you are using his own personal blog or social media where he announced the remarkable achievement that he has achieved. So you can't do that. And also, you cannot use press releases and PR materials. Press releases means that the particular person or the organization is the one that will write for the press and ask them to release what he or she or the organization has written. PR material means the person will pay them to publish a lot of stuff about him. That's why you see from the beginning of the material of the newspaper to the end of the newspaper, they are going to be publishing they are going to be praising him or her or the organization. So those are puff pieces. They are PR material, so you have to run away from them. Also, self-published content. If somebody writes something and publish it on its own, you cannot use that particular thing to serve as a reference or to verify any of the information that you have on Wikipedia. There are some collaborative platforms like Reddit, forums, wikis. You cannot use any of these collaborative platforms. You cannot use any of these collaborative platforms to verify anything on Wikipedia, because almost all of them are self-generated content. They are self-generated content, and they are not secondary sources. So now, also, when you see something that is not verified online, you cannot just carry it and put it on Wikipedia. You have to verify it before you put it on Wikipedia. So for you to have a very good verifiable claim, you need to make sure that you use what is called inline citation. Inline citation means as you are finishing your claim, you are adding a reference to it. As you are finishing your claim, you are adding a reference to it. So that's what is called inline citation. And also, you should make sure that you are using multiple independent sources. For instance, when you have a claim, don't just use only one source. You can use 2 or 3 sources to back it up, so as to tell the world that this thing can be verified in different places. So when you are writing and you see something that is not sourced, an unsourced material, you have to remove those things, those unsourced material from your work. You have to remove them when you are patrolling any of the Wikipedia article, because unsourced material that cannot be verified is harmful to Wikipedia content, because we do not know if what they are saying is actually the fact. Also, if you are citing something, you need to make sure that when you have to choose between recent sources and old sources, it is better for you to choose the most recent one, because that one will provide a lot of insights to whatever you are citing. So when you have a dead link, you can archive it. What do you mean by archive? It means that when you have a link that is not working again, there's a place you will go and they will get you that link. Let me quickly show you this one. There's something called Wayback Machine. Wayback Machine can be used to retrieve any of the links that's no longer available on the internet. So what Wayback Machine does is that anything that you put on the internet, it saves them on its own. It saves them on its own database. So if those informations are related, then you can go into Wayback Machine to go and retrieve those information with their archive. Then you take the link to Wikipedia, and you can use that on Wikipedia. So please, anytime you see any link that is no longer working on Wikipedia, you can archive it so that people can have access to it. Now, okay, there are people in the waiting room, let me accept them. Now, under the no original research, which is the third one, so you cannot conduct any original research on Wikipedia to buttress any of your points. It has a very simple golden rule. If you can't point to where you read it in a published, reliable source, don't write it on Wikipedia. Don't say you are going to conduct your own research. For instance, if you wanted to write an article about protein, and you want to write an article about what people feel when they are eating meat. So you cannot just say, okay, I'm going to interview 50 people and ask them about how do they feel when eating meat. I will now combine the report and go back to Wikipedia and say, people feel happy when eating meat. So that's an original research. So you cannot conduct that one. So what you can only do is to go and read an existing report, research, academic journals that talks about that. Then you are going to bring out the critics of people of that journal, and you are going to use those critics to back up any of your claim. So you cannot conduct an original research on Wikipedia. So what counts as original research are unpublished facts, arguments, or ideas, new analysis or synthesis of existing sources, or drawing conclusion not stated in sources. For instance, you cannot draw any conclusion on Wikipedia by saying that, okay, since 50 people enjoyed eating meat, that means all people enjoy eating meat. So you cannot draw that kind of philosophical conclusion, either from small to big or big to small. You cannot draw that conclusion on Wikipedia. So if you are going to interpret, you are going to make sure that you are interpreting the data with the references that we have. You are interpreting any data with the references that you have, sources, secondary sources that you have. So you are not going to be interpreting the data with your own mind. So, and the last one is that theories that are yet to formally published, you can't use them. If you have your own theory that is yet to be formalized, is yet to be acceptable in the academic world, it is yet to be recognized by a lot of scholars, scientists, you cannot just say, okay, you wanted to test that theory on Wikipedia and use that theory to back up any of the claims that you have. It will not work. So if you can't point to where you read it in a already published, reliable source, so you don't have to write it on Wikipedia, because Wikipedia does not need your original thought. Wikipedia does not require your opinion. What Wikipedia requires is a verifiable document in a reliable source that we would use to serve as references on Wikipedia. So now we have discussed the first one, which is neutral point of view, the second one, which is verifiability, and the third one, which is no original research. Now, the fourth policy under content policy is what is called notability policy. What we mean by notability means that the subject that you want to write an article on, can the subject have its own article? So if you are trying to write an article about a laptop, for instance, can that laptop has its own Wikipedia page? If the answer is yes, then the article is notable. And if the answer is no, then the article is not notable. So, and what are the things that makes a subject to be notable? The first one is significant coverage. If the subject has enough information on multiple reliable sources, when you go to Ghana Web, you see the information there. When you go to My Joy Online, you see the information there. When you go to New Vision, you see the information there. When you go to Daily Monitor, you see the information there. When you go to Punch, you see the information. When you go to Guardian, you see the information. When you go to different reliable newspaper, they are discussing the subject, either a person or an entity. So that subject might be notable based on SIGCOV, which is called significant coverage. So you need to know that these coverages must come from sources unconnected to the subject itself. Those sources should not have any connection to the subject. For instance, if I'm the owner of Daily Monitor, and Daily Monitor is writing a lot of stuff about me, definitely I'm connected to Daily Monitor. So because of conflict of interest, we will not be able to use Daily Monitor for my Wikipedia page, because we all know that Daily Monitor will never write from a neutral perspective when it comes to their owner, their CEO. It is only if you wanted to lose your job, that is when you can say you are going to dig deeper and bring out the other point of view of your CEO. So the only thing they are going to be writing is to be praising him over and over again. So, and another thing that can make an article to be notable is reliable sources. Those sources must be from an independent and fact-checked newspaper. So the sources must be reliable in the sense that they must have their editorial standard. They must not be connected to the subject. They must have a history of unbiased and unprejudiced behavior. They should not be a kind of website or a kind of news media that collects money to publish for people. So without disclosing that this is a paid work or something like that. So, and the last one is presumed notability. There are some categories that they are presumed notable, mainly because of they have all these things that we have mentioned. They are significant, they have significant coverage, independent sources, reliable sources, and also they have some specific characteristics under this specific notability guideline. Now, when we are talking about presumed notability, it means they are in a particular category, and that category makes them to be notable. For instance, a politician, if a politician is assumed a particular set of office, so that politician is presumed to be notable. A governor is notable, a president is notable, member of the executive council of this federal, they are notable, member of the executive council of the state, they are notable, commissioners are notable, ministers are notable. So all these are called presumed notability, because once you attain that position, you are automatically notable. And also, based on what we are writing on, which is academics and scientists, maybe in our next training, we are going to be focusing more on academics and scientists. Maybe we are going to be discussing their own notability, and also we are going to be working more practically. So the fifth policy is reliable sources. That is, what comes together to make a source to be reliable. And What are the things that you can do to make sure that whatever you are doing, you are using only reliable source to back up your claim? Now, the very first thing you are going to do is that you are going to make sure that the references that you are using, just like what I've mentioned during the verification stage, most of them are either academic journals, major books, government data, established newspaper. They are all regarded as tier 1, which is most reliable. So we have tier 2, in which they are generally acceptable. Not that they are reliable, but they are acceptable. The first one is reliable. You can use them anywhere you want. And these academic journals can be used anywhere you want. Major books can be used anywhere you want. Government data can be used anywhere. And established newspapers too can be used. Hello?
Yes, please.
Okay, the network kicked me out, right? Is this where we stopped?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So I said I've ranked sources based on how reliable they are. We have the tier 1, which is the most reliable source. So I think I've listed them earlier on: academic journals, major books, and the rest. So you can use them anywhere you want. We have tier 2. They are acceptable. You can use them, but they are not as strong as the tier 1. When you see reputable magazines, we all know magazines. Magazines are not the same as newspapers. So magazines focus on a particular thematic area. Newspaper, they carry news in general, but magazine focus on a particular thematic area. So you can have musician magazines, you can have celebrity magazine, and so on. So reputable news magazines are acceptable. Established news websites are acceptable. Official organization sites are also acceptable, but they are not as reliable as the tier 1. Tier 3, you should always use them with caution. Always use them with caution. It means that do not always make use of, when you see something that is a controversy, you should not use this website, because many of them can land you in trouble. When you see a new website that was just registered, or a regional outlet, or specialist publications, so you should be very careful when using them. Very careful. So, and the last one that you are going to be avoiding, don't use them at all, is you are not allowed to use blog, social media, self-published sources, reliable sources, user-generated wikis, and the rest. You cannot use them. So your article should be between tier 1 and tier 2. So if you see resources on tier 1, you use them. Sources in tier 2, you use them. Any other sources apart from the 2, make sure that you run away from there, because we believe that Wikipedia content should always be credible with reliable published sources. If the sources that you are using to write article for Wikipedia is not credible enough, that means the content of Wikipedia is also not credible. That's the implication. If sources that you are using are mushroom sources, are sources that promote misinformation, definitely you are also indirectly using Wikipedia to promote misinformation, in which a lot of people will not allow you to do that. So they will warn you And if you refuse to heed to the warning, they might end up stopping you from editing. Now, before we go to this, the sixth policy, which is under interaction, do you have any question based on neutral point of view, verifiability, no original research, notability, and reliable sources? Do you have any question based on that? Before you move down to conduct. The question, can we treat information from different media houses as notable? Okay, it depends on the information that you are talking about. You know, at times, what some PR, what they used to do is that they will write a particular write-up, they will praise somebody very well, and what they are going to do is they will send the write-up to like 5 or 6 different outlets. And those outlets are going to be publishing the same thing. For instance, when Punch published a particular set of information, it is word for word with what Vanguard published, word for word, with what Guardian published, word for word, with what New Vision published, word for word, then that information is not reliable information. Because there's no way 6 different media will be publishing a particular information and they'll be doing it word for word, if not that somebody has sponsored that particular information. So it is a sponsored post. It is a paid post. So for that, it will not go for reliable information. I don't know if you have gotten that logic. So even when the information is being circulated in different reliable newspapers, but when you get information from different reliable newspapers and they are of different opinion, News Vision said its own journalistic view, Punch reported its own journalistic view, Vanguard reported its own journalistic view, you will see that when you read the information, you will get different perspective from the information. So that is when you can now say, okay, different media houses provide notable information. I don't know if I've answered the question. Isaac? Have I done that? Malona Isaac?
Yes, yes. You have answered.
Okay, thank you very much. So any other question? You can unmute yourself or you can drop the question inside the chat box. From these 5 core content policies that we have discussed, because these are the things that we are going to be using when we get to the practical stage, so that we are going to be applying them to whatever you are writing. Write in a neutral way. You should not be biased. Don't be biased. So anything that you are writing, you should be able to verify it from different sources. Do not go and carry out original research because you wanted to make your claim. Make sure that the person you are writing or the article is notable, and always use reliable sources. Okay, no question from me. Thank you very much. So we are going to move down to conduct. When we say conduct, it means how you relate with people on the Wikipedia space, how you relate with each other on the Wikipedia space. That is how, Wikipedia has millions of editors. So how do we agree and disagree on Wikipedia? Because if you disagree with somebody in a very harsh way, you might be blocked for that. If you abuse someone on Wikipedia, you might be blocked for that. If you threaten somebody, you threaten, why would you delete my article? I will make sure I take you to court. I will make sure I take you to court. you are threatening somebody with a legal action, you can also receive punishment for that. Now, I divided this thing into 3 stages: the do, the don't, and how you can resolve the problem. Now, there's something called good faith. Assume good faith in others. When you see somebody making any mistakes, always assume that it is a mistake. It is not intentional. For instance, somebody used a social media post to reference a claim. Do not say, no, this is intentional. This is bad. You should assume that the person does not know that social media posts cannot be used on Wikipedia. So what you have to do is to correct the person respectfully. Do you get it now? Don't just say, okay, since you have used social media posts, I'm an admin, I'm going to block you. No. Or I'm a reviewer, I'm going to say bad things to you because you have used social media posts. Anything that you see on Wikipedia that is not the right thing to do, that people have done, always assume good faith. Believe that if they know that that thing is bad, they will have done it better. So it's because they did not know. So you have to call their attention to it. That's what is called assume good faith. And also, disagree respectfully. When you believe that what somebody is doing is not good, you want to disagree with him. So you have to respect him when disagreeing. Don't say you are lying. This is a lie. Don't say that. So I believe you can use it from the sources I've seen. I believe this is not supposed to be, and this is what is supposed to be. Can you please recheck that information? Then the person will now go and recheck. Don't say, okay, this is a lie. You are a typical liar. This is not supposed to be. That's very disrespectful. So you have to disagree respectfully. Okay? And the next thing that you can do is to use the talk page constructively. If you wanted to call attention of somebody to a particular thing, go to their talk page and reach out to them constructively. I believe during Wikidata training, we learned how to use talk page. So you just go there and write what you have observed respectfully and what you think is the best practice. For instance, if somebody is doing copyright edit, on the talk page, you said you can write copyright violations. I noticed that you have been editing a particular page and you are currently using copyrighted material. Please make sure you paraphrase the material before you put them on Wikipedia, as Wikipedia does not condone copyright violation. So you have constructively correct them. Don't just say, you are doing copyright. If you do it again, I am going to block you. So that is not constructive. That is typical destructive. Also, when you see newcomers, you have to welcome them warmly. You see a new account and you need to send a welcome message to them, or you believe that they are doing something wrong, you have to calm them down because they don't know what they are doing. They are newcomers. So please always encourage newcomers with your interactions with them on Wikipedia. And lastly, on the thing that you are supposed to be doing, the thing that you can do is to give helpful edit summaries. If you are publishing any edits on Wikipedia, you have to make sure that you give summary that can assist reviewers to know what they are doing, so to know what you have done. Let me go to Wikipedia and show you something. So I want to show you something. Okay, so when we talk about edit summary, it is very important because if you do not put edit summary, reviewers will not be able to trace your, they will not be able to correctly trace what you are doing. So they will have to go inside and be checking what you are doing. So let me go to my, okay. Now, look at my edit summary. This is my edit summary. Declining submission, added orphan tag, added more cards, pass any prop as the highest administrative body in a tertiary institution. This is my what's it called? Edit summary. So when we click on this, if you edit anything here, let me try and see if I can edit. Let me add physiology. Let me Wikilink physiology. Is it physiology? Then they will ask me to publish changes. So what I got here, this is my, you see, this is my edit summary. So I will have to add what I've done. Added.
I'm not seeing the screen. I'm just seeing the policy, the older one you shared, the policy 6.
Oh, so sorry, you should have, oh, the screen is not changing. Thank you very much for that. Let me share the screen. Let me go back to that. Okay.
Yeah, now good.
Okay, good. Edit summaries are what make people to know what you are doing on Wikipedia. So if I should go through your work, I'll be able to see what you have been doing on Wikipedia from edit summaries. So when I come to my own contributions here, so these are my edit summary. Tag duplicate citations, declining submissions, adding local short description, pass and prof as the highest administrative body in a tertiary institution. So these are my edit summary. So how do you get edit summary? When you click on an article and you edit anything that you edit on the article, you have to tell them what you have done. For instance, I Wikilink physiology here, then I click on publish changes. They will ask me, what have I done? I will just say, I publish it. So now when you go to, it's a message. Okay. When you go to the contributions and go and check, you see, this is the edit summary, added Wikilink. So as a reviewer, if I'm going through your work and I see added Wikilink, I will say, okay, this is what you have done. But if there's nothing here, the place is blank, I will have to click on what you have done, to go and check your history so that I'll be sure that you have not done the wrong thing. So, do we get it now? So this is what is called edit summary, and it is very important. So it is part of civility, so that you let people know that this is what I'm doing on Wikipedia. So you should assume good faith, disagree respectfully, use talk pages constructively, welcome newcomers warmly, and always give a helpful edit summary. There are places, let me take you to a place whereby you see people arguing about Wikipedia article for deletion. Let us check to this one. When you go to places where people argue about article, you will see how they constructively hello.
Yes, please.
Can you still see my screen?
Hi.
No, please.
Okay.
Yes, it's showing now.
Now, when you look at this example, can you see it? Probe keep. Reverting back to this difference would appear to remove the problematic content. Then the subject appears to be notable. You see that it was a respectful suggestion, would appear to remove the problem, not something like take it back to remove that nonsense content. Do you see the difference? You can take that thing back so that you can remove that nonsense. No, but the person said, reverting back to these differences would appear to remove the problematic content. Then the subject appears to be notable. Another person said, I agree. Maybe withdraw the nomination and do it then. Got it. I always forget how to withdraw this. So this may take one moment. You see the way they are talking respectfully. So if anybody reach out to you on your talk page, so you have to reply respectfully. So this is how it has been done. Now, under the don't, that don't ever do it on Wikipedia, can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Do not use insults or personal attacks on Wikipedia. Do not attack somebody's family. Do not attack the person or the person's family, or you dig deep go online and go and dig about what happened to the person, and you are abusing the person on Wikipedia, you are going to be instantly blocked. So you cannot threaten or intimidate other editors. Let's assume you are a professor, a lecturer, and one of your students is a Wikipedia editor, and the person puts something that you do not like, and you go to from the Wikipedia, you are telling them, don't worry, we will meet in class. I will make sure you fail my course. That is it, that you are threatening the person on Wikipedia, and you will get blocked for that. So you are intimidating the person. Or you are saying that, don't worry, we will meet in the court of law. You will have to say, you have to say that thing again. So that's a threat. So threatening other editors or harassing fellow editors or harassing or follow editors is not allowed. When you say follow editor, means maybe you have issue with me on a particular article, then you start following me to wherever article I edit. You are going there to go and comment. You are following me up and down on Wikipedia space. You become my angel. You are following. If I edit this article, you go there and revert it. If I edit this article, you will go there and say something about it. That is follow editors. So if I have issue with you on a particular article, let that issue finish there. Don't follow me anywhere. So do we get it now? So another thing is, don't make any accusations without evidence. Do not say somebody is a paid editor. Do not say somebody is a sock puppet. We get there too. Do not say somebody is this or that without you having an evidence at hand. Because if you say that without evidence, you are making an accusation and you are going to be penalized for that. Another thing is edit war. Do not engage in edit war. For instance, maybe I nominate your article for deletion, then because of that, you get angry and you start nominating all my articles for deletion. Maybe I revert one of your edits, you got angry and you start reverting all my edits too. It's an eye for an eye. Whatever you do to me, I do it back to you. It doesn't work on Wikipedia. When you do that, you are going to be penalized. So if you have any problems on Wikipedia, this is how you resolve it. You reach out to the person via their talk page first. If you think you are not confused with that, you are not convinced with that, you need to seek third-party opinion. Seek another person's opinion on what you are supposed to do. So when you seek the opinion, then you go down to mediation and dispute resolution. You can either talk it with the person, or you ask another person to come in to come and solve the problem. If that problem is not resolved, you can take it to ANI, as Administrative Notice Board Incidents, where admin can come and resolve the issue for you. Currently, I'm resolving a problem with a participant that was recently blocked. So I had to reach out to an admin, and they are checking the person's problem, and they discover that it is an IP issue. So now they are trying to resolve it. So now that's because the person reached out to me as a third party, and I'm trying to solve the problem for the person. So if you also have any problem, you can also reach out to a third party where the problems can be resolved for you. And last one is, always, whatever people do to you, always assume good faith. Always believe that they did not know. That is why they do that thing to you, and always try to explain to them. So that is why civility is very important on Wikipedia, because we have millions of editors. If there are no rules guiding the way we behave, everybody will just be behaving anyhow, and the Wikipedia space is going to collapse for lack of moral. So with that, there are a lot of set rules that you have to follow under civility, so as to make sure that you are relating with other people with respect. So under that too, we also have what is called conflict of interest. When we talk about conflict of interest, it means you have an interest in a particular article, and as a Wikipedia editor, so there's a conflict of interest between your own personal interest and what you wanted to edit. Now, who is a person who has a COI? That is, how do you know that somebody has a COI, which is conflict of interest? Anyone editing articles about themselves. You cannot write article about yourself. If you are writing article about yourself, you have a conflict of interest. If you are writing article about your family, you have a conflict of interest. About your friends, employers, or organization that they are affiliated with. If you are working for a particular country and you are writing an article for them, you have a conflict of interest. So you should not allow your conflict of interest to distort Wikipedia content. So there's also something called paid editing. So if you are writing an article for somebody and they are going to pay you, so you have to make sure that you disclose that you are being paid. And you should let us know who is paying you. And you should let us know the articles that you are being paid for, so that we can independently go there and check if what you are writing is the right thing. Because when people collect money, they tend to impress their employers by bringing out a lot of stuffs, those that are Wikipedia friendly and those that are enemies of Wikipedia. They put everything together in the page so that their employers will be impressed. So with that, if you are a paid editor, once you disclose it, we can go there and check if what you are doing is the correct thing. So now, what do you do if you have conflict of interest? You need to let us know which type of interest you have. Is it conflict of interest that you knew the person, or the conflict of interest that you are being paid to write the article? If you refuse to disclose that you are being paid, and eventually it was revealed that you are being paid, you are going to be blocked for undisclosed paid editing. So what to avoid is that do not remove source negative content. So if you are writing for anybody that you have conflict of interest with, or if you are a paid editor, do not remove any negative content that is sourced, that is sourced beyond doubt. For instance, you are being paid to edit an article about a politician, and inside a politician's article, they wrote that the person stole $1 billion. And the sources there are BBC, Al Jazeera, or your local sources like Daily Monitor, Citizens, and the Ghana News, and the rest. So, but you now go there, because you are being paid to edit, you remove that thing that makes the person to look bad. Let me remove it, and you publish it. So you are going to be penalized for that, because you are not supposed to remove any sourced content. So if you also have conflict of interest, do not add promotional language because you wanted to impress your friends or your father or your parents or your organization about the article. Then you are using promotional language. Something like, the company is the best company in the whole world. They have achieved remarkable success in different walks of life. They are the first company, and you are saying a lot of stuff that are not Wikipedia friendly. Or You are serving as advocate for your employer or client. You are promoting them so that many people can come and buy their products. So if you have conflict of interest, you should not do all this. Even if you don't have conflict of interest, you should not do all this. But you need to let us know the kind of conflict of interest that you have. So on the top page of the article, just drop it there that this person has a conflict of interest. So you can use the template for conflict of interest. And that is clear. So somebody saying something? Well, thank you very much, Isaac. So we have sock puppeting. A lot of people becomes a victim of sock puppeting, and they received a kind of harsh consequences. When you say sock puppeting, means you are using more than one account. And you are not using them politely, you are using them to evade a lot of things. For instance, you wanted to create an article about somebody and you are using multiple accounts to make it look as if many editors are editing on that particular page, so as to deceive the reviewers and think a lot of people are working on the article. So maybe you have like 5, 6 accounts. One person will create the early life and education. Another account will go there and create the political career. Another account will go there and create the award section. Another account will go there and create references. Another account will go there and do Wikilink. Another account will go there and do categories. So you are making it to seem like that many editors are working on a particular article, whereas you are the one using the account. We call it what? Sock puppeting. You are using them as puppets. Another sock puppeting means, there's a time you vote on Wikipedia, you vote for people on Wikipedia, so you are using all the accounts to vote, so as to have plenty of votes. So you are a sock puppet. Or you are being blocked with your original account, then you open another account to continue your work. You were blocked again, open another account to continue your work. So it's also sock puppet. You are evading a block or ban. Or maybe they take your article to article for deletion, and you go to your class group and say, please, my class group, I have a very big problem. All of you should go and join Wikipedia. Come and support me in this problem that we have, that I am. Then like 50 people or 15 people or 10 people or 5 people joined, and they started supporting you. Don't delete my friends. Don't delete the article. You don't delete the article. So what you are doing is you are creating the illusion of consensus. You are trying to say that many people have agreed that the article should not be deleted, whereas you knew that you are the one that you are kind of instigating them to come and assist you. All these are being recognized under sock puppeting. So I think you understand the sock puppeting now. So you need to have, for your best interest, have only one account and use the account to edit. So if you have issue with it, you can reach out to them, they will solve your problem. Now, what are the consequences of sock puppetry? If you are traced that you have a lot of accounts that are being used to manipulate something on Wikipedia, all accounts will be permanently blocked. We block all of them. And all your contributions will be removed or will be flagged that this article is being contributed to by somebody that have that is a sock puppet. And that will damage the credibility of your article. And also, it will also harm the reputation of Wikipedia, because a lot of people can scale through and use their sock puppet account to reach a lot of consensus on Wikipedia. If that thing is so obvious and you refuse to step down, Wikimedia Foundation can take legal action against you. So, any question before we go to vandalism? Any question? Okay. So do you all understand what conflict of interest is and what sock puppetry is? Anybody with 2 or more accounts? Anybody with 2 or more accounts here? Do you have anybody with 2 or more accounts? So let me put no. I do not have 2 accounts. Do you have anybody with 2 or more accounts? If you have 2 or more accounts, stop using the other accounts to edit. Start using your real accounts to edit. Because you'll be thinking they will not get to know, but when they get to know, you are going to be blocked, and it is very hard for you to be unblocked. Thank you very much. I can see that almost all of you, nobody have 2 or more accounts. We are all using only 1 account. Thank you very much. So now we move down to vandalism. Vandalism simply means any attempt to compromise the integrity of Wikipedia. There are different types of vandalism. That is why you used to see some pages used to be semi-protected. That is, not everybody can go there and edit those pages. Because a lot of people are damaging those pages. There's something called blanking. Blanking. It means some people will just go down to Wikipedia and they will click on edit and they will remove all the information there and they will publish it. They will blank the whole article. That is vandalism. Or some will just go there, click on edit, and start writing rubbish inside the article. Or they will just put random characters, or they will just put irrelevant content and publish it. Some, we just go there and intentionally put misinformation. Or some will just be spamming and be promoting different articles. Some they will be attacking people personally. Some people will not even go and be moving pages from one place to another, moving pages from one place to another. So all these are what? Vandalism. So any one of us, we believe that nobody here would do this kind of thing. It's something that can lead to blocking and a lot of stuff. So now this is very important because our next training, we are going to be writing articles. And most of the articles that we are going to be writing are going to be biography of a living person. So you need to understand that if you are writing an article for a living person, it is very hard to do because incorrect information can damage people's real lives. So you have to be very careful when writing an article for a living person. The first thing that you are going to do is you have to make sure that all the sources that you are writing, that you are using, are reliable publications. You need to know that if you have some harmful content that are not sourced, or are poorly sourced. They are from poor sources. Do not use them. If somebody has used them, remove them immediately. Because if those poor sources are lying, you are going to be affecting someone's life, which is not good. If there are private informations that have not been revealed to the public, that I have not informed anybody that I am married to anybody, nobody, but because you know me in real life, we are living in a very closed door. You even know the name of my wife and the name of my children, and have not informed any public media that this is the name of my wife and my child. Then you go online and you are putting is happily married to Elizabeth, and they have 5 children, and these are the name of their children. The first one, the second one, the third one. That's privacy life. I intentionally not put them on news media, so I believe those information should not be there. So don't do that. You only reveal the information that you have on public media. And also we need to also balance coverage. If somebody has done something good and something bad, let us bring the two to the table. Don't only bring the good one and leave the bad one. Don't bring the bad one and leave the good one. Bring the two so that the article will reflect the person's full life. So if somebody reach out to you that what you have written is incorrect, they should tell them to use the top page, not your email. They should go to the top page and suggest the edit. You need to know that biography of a living person are being monitored closely by reviewers, editors, admins. If you violate any of this rule, you are going to be sanctioned immediately. So this is policies about biography of living persons, and we are going to be using them. Sorry, it is raining heavily here. Maybe that's why you might find it very difficult to hear me. So can you hear me very well? Can you hear me very well? Hello?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. It's really heavily here. So we are going to be running up now. So since this one has to be in you, as a Wikipedian, there are things you need to know that you should do. First thing is, as a Wikipedia, it's a policy about being bold. You have to be very bold. If you see something bad, correct it immediately. Don't wait for anybody to say, do not correct this. Be bold. Make your edit. So you have to, when you see something that is bad, go there, correct that thing, and publish it. That's the first thing. If someone disagrees with you, they may revert your edit. So don't take it personally. If you do something wrong, or you do something, and somebody come and say, oh, this thing is wrong, and they revert it, don't take it personally. Rather, ask them to explain the reason why they have reverted your edit. And you, two of you will discuss, and you are going to be okay with it. You get it now. So, and don't keep on reverting people's edits. Once you revert the first one, you revert the second one, you revert the third one of the same person, please leave it. Let another person come and revert it again, so that it will not be like as if you are following the person around. So we have discussed this before, edit summaries, top pages. Now, so we are going to be talking about copyright violations. Please, on Wikipedia space, copyright policies are something that is very, very serious. for you to be able to be free from copyright, you have to read those content and paraphrase them. That is, you read information, understand it, then express it in your own words. Do not do copy and paste. So if you are going to be using quotes, let it be a very short quote, and let it be followed by an inline citation. There's a template for quoting. Let me show you something. And this quotation, you see, this is a quotation. It is word for word. But immediately when I put the quotation, I followed it up with what? With two reliable sources. So this is not a copyright. But everything here has been paraphrased. This one here. Everything here has been paraphrased. But here it is word for word. And here too is what? Word for word. So this is what is called short quotes only. However, if you see a page that is being released under the domain, you can do copy and paste for that one, because all edits are freely licensed. And also, I put it in Wikipedia too. Thinking about it. It is a free and open space. So now, how do you know if you are doing copyright edit? One, if you are directly copying article or books, that's copy and paste. If you are uploading a non-free images, you go to online, you download a beautiful image of one governor, president, or professor, and you upload it as your own, that's copyright. You are pasting press releases verbatim, that's copyright. You are reproducing song lyrics or poems, that's copyright. You are using a copyrighted maps or charts, those are copyright. So you have to make sure that you are not doing copyright violations. It's very, very bad, very bad. And the last one that we are going to be discussing before we call it a day is AI generated content. In this world of AI, we are having issues with people generating content with AI, and AI is giving them a blabby content, is giving them hallucinations, and they will use it to write a complete articles without checking it. There are permissible ways in which you can use AI, and there are non-permissible ways in which AI cannot do. So the non-permissible ways are, you cannot use AI to write the draft of an article. You cannot use AI to rewrite existing articles. You cannot use generated AI, generated images for AI articles. Or you just copy, okay, generate an image for me. You cannot use a fabricated AI images. A fabricated AI can formulate, but they will not, because you won't be able to see them. And that's a problem. And also, do not use AI to produce top-page comments. Somebody asks you to explain yourself. Then you go to AI, and AI give you responses, and you put it on the top page. It's also good. However, there are There are different ways in which AI can be used. You can use AI to check your grammar, spell checking ideas. You can use Grammarly to check your grammar and the rest. That was my point. You can do an app research assistant. For instance, you can say, okay, I want to write article about professors. You can go to blog and say, give me five vice chancellors who have enough Wikimedia coverages, enough reliable sources, but they are not on Wikipedia. Then AI will go and check and give you 5 names. Now, what we are going to do is that we will not start investigating those names one after the other, manually, not with AI again. So you can use AI to fact check against sources. You can use AI to translate text. Then after translating the article, you have to go through it and put human voice to check for errors. So you can also use coding tools for people that are using code for review and so on. So please, you should know the right way in which you can use AI, because by the time you start writing articles, I will be giving you articles that are notable, and please take your time to go through references. Don't use AI to do them. Thank you very much. So we have explained almost all of this. So now we are going to, I'm just going to, what's it called? I'll read this for you. 10 common mistakes that new editors do. Most of new editors, they are so eager to create articles, and they will be adding unsourced information into article, which is bad. Most of them do copyrights. Please, don't copy article directly from the website and put it. Most of them try to edit article about their organizations, or they try to create articles for themselves. Please, don't do that. Most of them use unreliable sources like blogs, social media posts. Please, use only reliable sources. Most of them try to remove content that they disagree with. They will go and see, they will go to and see somebody that they knew, and they see, oh, this thing is bad, let me remove it. It's not your job to remove it if an information is sourced. Some of them, they don't used to put edit summary. Starting from now, anything that you are doing, make sure you put edit summary. Most of them used to do a lot of revert. They used to revert people's edits all the time, which creates problems. And most of them used to create articles for non-notable subjects. They keep on creating articles for non-notable subjects, which can lead to blocking. And most new editors use promotional language because they think language of Wikipedia is to impress. We are not impressing anybody. And recently, a lot of newbies have been using AI to write article content, which is also backfiring. So please, you should take this into consideration and make sure that you follow it very well. So now, I believe with all this, we are good to edit. Starting from our next class, we are going to create articles from the scratch in our next class. And immediately after the class, I'm going to be dropping a lot of articles for us to create, edit, improve. So please, we need to make use of this theory and the practical of next class to create articles, edit, so that we are going to have a kind of conducive environment for editing. Please follow all these guidelines strictly, as Wikipedia is unlike Wikidata. They are very strict. If you do something that you're not supposed to do, it might lead you into a problem. So now I'm going to stop here. Do you have any question or suggestion? So thank you very much. Any question? Question, please. So if there are no questions, what about suggestions? Okay. So anybody that wants to add to what we have discussed so far?
Please, I have a question.
Okay, thank you very much. You can ask.
Please, I'd like to know, what if someone uses AI to write the content, but then uses verifiable resources or reliable resources to back the content up? How about that?
The main reason why they said AI should not be used is because most of the times people don't usually go through line by line what AI has written. But if you can go through it line by line, and all the sources given by AI corroborates with the content itself, then you can use it. You get it now? So you have to go back and do my manual review of what AI has generated by comparing the content with the references. And you are also comparing if the references are reliable. If you can do that, then you are good to go. Okay?
Okay, please. Thank you.
So, any other?
Yes, please. I have a follow-up.
Okay.
So, I recently joined a meeting, and this woman was teaching us something about her editing. But then she showed us that she recently edited, she used AI to write the content, but then she used reliable resources to back the content up. But then that article was tagged as AI generated content. Meanwhile, she says she went through very well to make sure every information was accurate together with the resources, but then it was still tagged as AI content. So,
Thank you very much. You know, there's something called robotic language. If you are writing an article and AI generated it for you, you have to humanize it by going through the article, re-editing it, changing those machine-sounded language, that robotic language, and make it simple for human. Because you get it now. So that is why when you publish it, it will not be flagged as AI generated content because you have humanized it. And you have checked the references, compared the references with the content, and you have gone through again to humanize. So now AI is just assisting you, but you have done what is called human edit on it. But some will just go directly, copy what AI has given them, paste it directly, and publish it. So that's where the problem lies in. So you have to humanize. Do you get it now? So that is where you can have, you won't be having that kind of issue.
okay, please. Thank you very much.
Okay. So any other question? So if there's no other question, then we are going to have a kind of group picture. So let me switch on my camera. If you are comfortable wherever you are, you can also do that. So
Sorry, I had to come outside because of Nigerian factor. NEPA always.
it's not raining there. It's raining here every day.
Not yet, too. It's not raining in our place, so, but we hope and we pray that it's rain.
So I'm going to be counting from, let me take one first. Taking the first one. Okay, so let me add, somebody else has joined, so let me add another one. Okay. Okay. So thank you very much for joining Umar, Barikisu, Manuel, Izzy, Mariam, Elizabeth, Ashifa, Malona. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
Veronica and everybody. So we are going to be meeting next week, Tuesday, as usual. So that's when we are going to be having our practical session. So we are going to be taking everything that we have learned today into consideration. Then we will start creating a lot of articles. You create articles and you get tired of creating articles. So bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you too.
Bye.